Oh hey, it saved my settings this time so I can actually show you that part of the intro. Yay! Hello everyone. I'm Tessellating Hexagons, back with another serving of Even the Ocean. And, okay, if you're one of the 2 people who's watching this when it goes up, today was the day of Junior Eurovision 2016, and it's been busy, so that's why it's been so long. Oh, there was a save point right here. That's why it's been... No, what am I saying? That's why this episode is going up comparatively late, and also I recognise in the last episode I got hit by one of these bullets because you actually need to be holding the shield up to not be hit by these bullets, because there are a couple of frames of Alif's running animation where the shield goes behind her if she's not automatically holding it in front of her. Like, you see how it's not constantly... I know what I mean, and that's going to have to be good enough because it's really inconsequential. Now, this mist constantly drains you or fills you up depending on your perspective. And oh no, we're not perfectly 50-50, whatever shall I do? That means I'm slightly faster and slightly less jumpy, to the order of about 1%. Should I gush less about how much I love this game? Because this is a blind playthrough, this is my second ever play session. There's nothing that I've done with this game that you haven't seen on screen apart from me messing with the options when I first booted it up. So... everything that I'm experiencing, you're experiencing with me. And so really, I should have no reason to gush as much as I do apart from what I've seen in development. Okay, how about I shut up and start at the beginning? They did live stream the development of this game when they were developing it, and I watched that. And so my experience of that is the only thing that's not been declared in this series in terms of footage. And no, you can't zap me with your pellets of energy. Oh, that's a point. I never actually checked the results of the poll in the last episode as to what I should be referring to the energy types as, so at the moment I'm just going to wing it, and I'm guessing that's probably what the popular option is going to be for me to do anyway. I forgot to jump. That's entirely my fault. Yeah, I get the impression that people are just going to want me to say whatever. Like, no one's going to have any strong opinions as to whether I call it X and Y and... okay, maybe people don't want me to call it X and Y and G, but they won't care whether I call it green and purple or light and dark. And, oh, look, we have Sap Pads, the most inventive name in the universe. Now, I do believe that we need to fill upon good times Can You Feel the Horse, references that no one will get, because Sap Pads draw green energy... well, okay, purple Sap Pads fill us with purple energy, which means that it also saps out our green energy. So look, we're leaving green after images because we're full up on good times and green energy, so we can jump a bit higher. You know how the game mechanics work. This is episode 2. We're 5 minutes into... well, okay. We're approaching 5 minutes into episode 2. You should know how it works by now, and I've learned the importance of holding my shield up in front of me using the hold shield up button. There is a thing you can change in the settings that allows you to... it changes how the shield holding works, and no, honey, I'm good, you know? You know how it be. I like the default controls is what I'm trying to say. So how are you lovely people doing this fine day? Because I'm playing a game that I love, and you're watching me play it, or so I would hope. So everyone's having a good time with their life, I guess. A lot of checkpoints. Clearly that means that there's a boss in every room. No, I don't see how that was supposed to be funny, actually. Well, I didn't think I'd be able to clear that. I do think that these sections, these platforming sections, are going to be a little bit harder to commentate, because it's just pure platforming and a little bit of puzzle, as opposed to the story stuff where I could speak mouth the story. Speak mouth the story. Yes, that's exactly perfect grammar. And bloop. Move, Aleph, or you will be overcome with greenness and you'll explode. Well, don't explode, we need you to continue protagonisting. Oh. Can I wall jump like this? I can. It's like a hat or something. Wow. It's a good tutorial level, because it doesn't feel like it's actually tutorialing you anything, and... apparently we're near the core control room. This is good. Ah, now this. This is the main puzzle mechanic to go with the platforming, where you have these vertical and horizontal poles, and, you know, crystal lenses. I didn't realise that's what they were called. But yeah, some are vertical, some are horizontal, because that's just how this world operates. And if... now, this is something that you might not necessarily understand from the very first... I don't know, this will tutorial it well, but you might miss on your first playthrough that it doesn't matter if the bar itself touches anything, it's just the crystal lens on the end of it that has to not touch anything. Now, I could grab another one from here, because these things do respawn infinitely. Now, I do believe... yeah, they can go through doors, they just can't touch, like... you see it's going back and forth. So, you just have to make sure that it doesn't touch any of these pods, because that counts as a concentrated source of energy, and that will shatter the crystal lens. But yeah, the pole itself doesn't matter, just the lens at the end of it. That's it. Now, there are horizontal ones as well. Here we go, here's a horizontal one, just for good measure. Oh, I did not time that at all. So, again, that was absolutely poor timing on my part, but it was good enough, so... yummity doodle. I'm feeling the pressure already. But this is really clever game design. Just throwing that one out there. Like, as if the whole energy mechanic wasn't clever enough as it is, this whole idea of platforming with these constraints, like the lens itself, like not... just the way it works is clever, okay? I like this game. Oh yeah, and then at the end of every power plant section, after you've put in the lenses, there's also this puzzle thing where you make the things shoot the things. It's really self-explanatory. So the dark beam is already in the right position because it's going to come out the horizontal thing there, hit that mirror and bounce 90 degrees and hit the well, I don't know which one it's coming out of. If it comes out of the G-looking thing, it'll go up and then left. If it's coming out of the thing that has the horizontal line, then it'll go right and down. But you get the idea. You get the idea. And then hit this one, turn it around, and there you go. It's connected to Whiteforge, which is what WF stands for. So that means that everything should be back online and we can proceed with the story. So just set the frequency, and... Fay Rouge to Whiteforge, is anybody alive out there? Or have we just avoided the apocalypse by falling into a ravine? I somehow don't think that's what the story is at all. So... ominous noises? Either that or just the sounds of a power plant powering back up. Hello, Whiteforge HQ. This is Aleph, or Aleph, I can't make up how to pronounce my name. Technician 03A on the line. Can you hear me? 03A, what's happening out there? Where is Technician 18C? We lost radio contact with your suits. Yeah, because our suits exploded. Cassidy's dead. There was a freak accident with some lightning, and I don't know how to get her out. I feel like I'm not taking this seriously enough. Like, she died. Are you injured, Technician? No, I think I'm fine. Yeah, we could do all this crazy platforming, so if you'd broken your leg, now would be a really bad time to bring it up. Yay, debriefing. I'm surprised to... yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now, Aleph. Just that... how are we so sure that Cassidy is dead? Maybe she's... I don't know, we're just really quick to dismiss her death, and... there was an elevator there that I didn't get to look at, and oh, we have a world map! Wow, I never would have guessed that this was an overworld. So there's conspicuous objects that aren't necessarily... oh... like, that says to me that there are hidden areas on the overworld that you'd have to find, that you wouldn't necessarily... like, they won't be clearly marked for you, you just have to look for them, and... this is clever. I mean, a lot of games have done this, so it's hardly the most original thing. Also, did you say go south? Or left? There's mountains. I can't go up the mountains. Okay. This part of the game is what I've seen the least of. But, wow, this music, though. Okay, well, that's reassuring. I'm going to go northeast instead, just to... pardon the cut, I just had a really vicious coughing attack for literally no reason. What do we have here? Oh, rude? I thought you were going to reward me for sequence breaking. No, of course the game wouldn't do that. But there was a thing there, and I shall make a mental note of it to come back to it later. But for now, Whiteforge, and how the... in the map that we saw before, the horizontal bits were purple and the tall bit was greenish. the city is built using vertical energy, and that's how it's... I understand what this city is going for. Like Grand City of Light Energy, and it's all vertical because light energy is vertical. Everything, every facet of this game just screams careful planning, and like it's had plenty of work. Bearing in mind, 2 people made this game, I think. Maybe a couple of others to help playtest, whatever, but ultimately the core team was 2 people. Just bear that in mind when I'm gushing about all these clever little bits and pieces. The rest of the day was a blur. God, I love how this city looks. This is my first time seeing the finalized art for it, because in the live streams, the background art was just like random crayon doodlings, just as placeholders, so... Oh my god, this is so pretty. Debrief in the Capitol building, the site of a bunch of government and administrative offices. Most people call it the Lighthouse. Budum-tish. It's technically my work headquarters, though my job is mainly out in the field. I got that impression. They offered to throw out the shield for me, but for some reason I wanted to take it home with me. I guess it feels like an old friend now. Plus, I mean, how is the rest of the game going to work if you don't get to keep the shield? Because goodness knows we're not going to have any more sections like that. I went home, ate some noodles. I'm tired but not sleepy. Oh, I feel that so much. I heard there was a funeral for Cassidy scheduled for this weekend. I didn't really know her. Today was the first time we had worked together. But I want to go. Because you were there when she died, that makes sense. Anyway, good night, journal. Such beautiful art. I'm genuinely moved. Okay. Slow your roll there, Storyteller. 3 entire days? Calm down. Cassidy loved the earth, the soil. Sometimes, even after working all day as a power plant technician, she'd come home and work in the garden. Most of you have had a bunch of her vegetables and herbs. It was her special place. So in a way it feels right. Returning her to that place now. Returning her to the moss and the dirt and the bugs that she called her friends. Knowing that this is where she wanted to end up. As part of the earth. As part of everything. And she's a part of us too. She lives on in the ways she affected us, and in the ways we go on to affect others. In an ever-expanding ripple across time. Even after her conscious memory has faded from the earth. So the funeral's over now. Yara, can I help you? Okay. Face guy, can I help you? It's a shame, really is. I always thought Cassidy was pushing herself too hard. I don't know what voice to give these people. Didn't think it would end this way. I mean, we almost could, but that's just survivor's guilt talking, so... We didn't see it directly. We just heard the explodey earthquakey lightning thing, and then she was fallen. She was fallen. I mean, that's technically grammar, because English is a Germanic language. Okay. I get this is a funeral and emotions are running high, but rude Belly? Seriously, she looks like Belly from Honey Pop. That's not even me trying to be... I guess racist? Question mark? No, it's just she reminds me of Belly. Like, right down to the face and the outfit. That's totally not foreshadowing or anything. And who's this fellow? Hastings. Yeah, it did seem like a slightly strange funeral speech. Yay, we get to see the mayor. Government business? Well, that's completely not ominous. Oh, I don't have any other options, so I guess not yet. I suppose that's clever because it doesn't force you into a cutscene that you may not be ready for, so inspect the coffin. We were trying to have a moment there, Yara. Did you have to intervene? I guess it was beautiful, maybe? Yeah, we should probably be on our merry way. And I say merry, but I mean, we're just coming out of a funeral, so not so merry. We can still jump in the overworld, and oh, I can't go down there. Well, I am ready, that's why I'm talking to this fellow. That's just a strange way of wording it, so yes, we're done here. Yes, Hastings. Take me to the mayor so that we may do business. Well, that would be a really dickish thing to... like, a really dickish stance to take, because, like... is that her... like, does she get the impression, then, that Yara thinks, oh, it should have been us because we were the rookie? Referring to one character in the plural. Like, is that the... is Aleph getting the impression that Yara wanted Aleph dead because she was... like, not that she wanted her dead, but that if one of those two had to die, it should be Aleph or Aleph because she was new, as opposed to Cassidy? Because if so, that's a really dickish way to think, but then again... I suppose that is how minds work when overcome with stress and funeral business, so I won't hold it against her. We'll see how the story develops. I don't know what to expect. Oh, that's a face of a politician, if ever I've seen one. That's the stance of a politician, if ever I've seen one. So... I would say greetings, but again, no one will get it. It's just, there's a classmate of mine at university who... he's Bulgarian, but he has what most people would consider to be the most stereotypical Russian accent. But he's Bulgarian. And his default way of saying hello is to go, greetings, but like in like, deliberately exaggerating his accent. I'm glad you're impressed, because this conversation could have easily gone one of two ways. Like, either you'd be impressed with our ingenuity in repairing the plant, or you'd be like, oh my god, why didn't you just stay there and protect the body? Or, oh no, clearly it's your fault that the bridge exploded. You know how these systems can work out sometimes. Well, that's a strange thing to say there, Mayor Biggs. Okay, I'm gonna that was a complete whim on my part, but I am just going to call him Mayor Biggs for the rest of this series now. And politician claiming to be our friend. Never heard that one before. But of course, we need to keep smiling at him, because otherwise... like, it's better to have a politician claim to be your friend than a politician outright be your enemy. Or is it? If a politician claims to be your friend but is then your enemy behind your back, would that be even worse? Well, whatever. Clearly there is no ulterior motives at all here. Oh god, you could tell when this game was released. So, clearly the script was written fairly late in the design process. Oh good, we're going to have to check more power plants. That totally wasn't a tutorial level, even though we've established that it was. So, it was a fortuitous coincidence that we just so happened to be repairing the plant then. An entire map? What's an entire map doing in the mayor's office? Oh yeah. That was literally my thought process just then. Restview Beach. Interesting name. Dream Dram Canyon. Now that's a bit that I've seen in the development cycle. That's an interesting area. Can't wait till we get to there. And I've seen a bit of Restview Beach as well. And Boreas Heights I've seen nothing of. So... this is still blind. Like, I haven't seen enough of any of these areas to piece together anything in my head. It was just generic level design and artwork, so... I've seen it in development, but that doesn't mean that I know anything. And oh! It's taking an anodyne sort of turn where we can go to anywhere in any order. But I think that's the game's way of saying, Rescue Beach is the easiest. This is the one we designed to be level 2, but it's up to you. Oh, I want to do all of them. Oh, Lopez and Paxton, they're on our side then. Well, much as I'd like to go to Dream Jam Canyon, I guess I should go to Restview Beach, because I know that's a really pretty area, and it's a good and yes. So... also, he just established what I said before, how the city needs a supply of light energy, otherwise the very tall buildings will collapse because they're structurally impossible. So, we need to fix the power plants, and as a secondary objective, try and work out what is happening in the world. Although, as someone playing through the game blind, that's kind of my secondary objective anyway. Oh, and it's the weekend, apparently. Well, that's nice. And we're totally never going to have to address those. At any point at all in the game, I promise. Does that include Fay Rouge? Are we going to have to go back there at some point? I feel like we might. But I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty damn alarming. Because, yeah, okay, you've got plants functioning, but if a whole load of them crapped out at once, then that would be cause for panic, because it's only a matter of time till the others crap out, theoretically, and then the entire city will literally just collapse. Or maybe just turn purple and violently sproing sideways. I don't know. Well, we officially have our objectives now. We have our motivation and our reasoning and interesting story and plot developments and... Or maybe it's both, Aleph, you don't know. An organised attack? Yeah. It's never that realistic in games like these, though, is it? Oh, clearly there's going to be one called Blackforge, and it's just going to be, like, the Pancake City, where it's, like, really short and really wide. So... The Apex District, that's a name that really fits the vicinity, I think, like, visual-wise. So, yeah, light energy, everything's tall. I don't need to reiterate that even further. I'm sure I'll get to save at some point. See, if I decide to save and quit, like, if I decide to quit right now, there's going to be a save point just around the corner, like there was between the last episode and this one. It's no big deal, though. That... Yeah. Portal... You're literally living in the future. Because look at how futuristic is everything. That was so many grammar. There's a... Oh. They have a ground level. And a train system. I was not paying attention to that. That was rather convoluted. So, if I go here, and then... Well, there's only one place to go that isn't here. So, to the city entrance. Because I was totally paying attention to where it told us to go. Hello there, person. Riaz. Well, I certainly must commend the, Okay. Just checking. Also, the background kind of reminds me of, the Bunny Bar, I think it was called, in Zootropolis, Zootopia, whatever. Well, here's a save point, so I'm going to take this opportunity to save and quit right now, but this game is as gorgeous as ever. We have our motivation, we have our story, we have an objective, and we will start work on that in the next episode. So, I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and, well, join me next time for that. See you then.